Hi, welcome to another video on my fan or propeller driven carriage with sonar controlled by fischertechnik interface and my BeagleBoard. Last time I replaced the touch sensor, this one, by light switch or light sensor, with this being a lens lamp. Let me just camera a bit. The lens lamp focusing on this light transistor, so that when it is sensed, the light, this lamp, should burn. However, that is not entirely the case yet. So let's first see what actually does happen. And a problem I notice immediately is that that cable is not entirely going the right way. So I may have to do something about that. There you go. However, you can already see that the light switch is not, that this lamp is not entirely functioning as should. Speed is there because of the iron track, but also it sleeps for 1 second and that second repeats. But what I want is that it actually keeps burning whenever the light switch is done. Now that is something that I should do in the code, and that is possible because there with this part it stays directly in front of the lamp, so that should be possible. So I think I should go ahead and try to fix that. So what can be done, looking at this if statement, and this if statement defines what is happening if the light is blocked by the carriage. So to have it burn constantly, as long as the carriage is there, is to get this out, because this is switching the light off. So what I want to do is saying if t digital 8, after which this follows. And that should be happening quite okay. Let me make sure that it is printed as well. And then mentioning the change of propeller speed. However, which is a nice idea, but the problem is, I think, that I want the carriage absolutely to reach the lamp in reasonable time. And I don't think that is going to happen. So how long will that track be? Some 15 centimeters, I think. Let me do a quick and dirty measurement. It's more like 20 centimeters. So that means that it measures from 5, and as you can also see, the distance to reverse the propeller direction is smaller or equal to 5. And you may have noticed that it is way closer than 5 before that actually happens. So that means that the response time is rather large, and that means that that the response time goes for here as well. So how quick will it respond to the fan? Well, I don't think it responds fast as well. What I may do is put here get D2 smaller than, let's say, 10, and we put here an if clause. Larger than 10 and smaller than, let's say, 20, and then this speed I will reduce to 3. So let's first see if I made any mistake in coding. I did make yes, let me do it this way then. Now it does go, and that has immediately a consequence, because it is on the far side and it has barely any it moves extremely slowly because of this. Very noticeable. And that I don't want. So this slowing speed is not really recommendable. Can I show you on cam? I could, but that would be extremely boring to see a carriage moving very, very slowly. So let's take this out and keep this as was. And get it done. Now it moves nicely. The lamp burns nicely. And that doesn't go fine because for some reason the lamp keeps burning now, and that's not the idea either. So I need to change something about that as well. Probably here. That, although this is set output 1, and yes, that is the sensor, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take it like this. See what happens. This is not the intention either. Alright, and this is seriously debugging. Anyway, let's see what happens now with this, with actually this change. So with this change in the coder, let's see what happens. And I decided to show you after all what happens if the speed is reduced after when it's further away than 5 centimeters. So let's run it. And there it goes. That is not quite the intention. Okay. Run again. I would like it to go, but for some reason the propeller doesn't want to do anything. Anything at all. Let me put it out and save and go. This is with half speed, and you can see that this is not a serious thing because of the very low speed it has. So this would be a very long wait until it reached the sonar. Although interesting, simply because of the distance it should have. But it's standing still now, so this is no use. So let's stop this and put it back to, let's put it to 4. See what happens. And the lamp goes on, shouldn't happen either. Let's put it to 6. That works. And the biggest problem I have now is that this lamp keeps burning. And that should not happen. That should not happen at all. But I see something I should change. So I command 1 printing out, and let's see what happens then. Not much of a change, I think. This is 2, and digital is, I see there's a code problem, because it says digital is 0 all the time. This clearly is 1 at this moment. So I should change something about that. And moreover, this lamp is not doing as I expect. So back to the code again. So as you can see here, this is 4, this is 2, and all it does is saying 0. This to 8 is 0, which is here and here. Well, let me just say digital 8 1 8 0, and this is 8 1, just because this is the not and this is the positive one. And then I should put this line here too. So let's interrupt, save, and start again. What happens? Digital 8, that is this one. And that one is constantly 0. Frankly, I don't care about that. Here I see that the distance is now varying 5 12 5 12. So let's first comment this one out. Go ahead. And here's something that shouldn't happen, because I don't see the 8.1. Okay, let's think straight. If it is not positive, when is it positive anyway? That's a good one. Let's go to the Diagnose Interface. Why doesn't the Diagnose Interface run? It's in liberable and after diagnose. This is it. Open the interface, yes. And then I want to have moving the motor, which is connected to 2. And I want the lamp burning, and the lamp burning is connected to 05. And this is 05, or should be anyway. Why is this such a mess? Now it is burning fully. So and now, okay, I'm opening it, and now I should something in input 8, which I don't. So I'm writing it away. Do I see something? Absolutely not. Where should I see something? On input 8. I don't see anything in input 8. So that is a problem. So the question is, why do I see nothing in input 8? I'm twisting wires to see if anything at all happens. Alright, let me twist, let me redo the wires. I'm switching 1 and 0, and that gave a result. So now this is a result I can use. So now it's 1, and now it's 0. So this means that whenever the carriage is furthest away from the sonar, input 8 should be 0. So this is a wiring problem. Now let's go here. If not the so the question is what and I need yeah, okay, that's the wires. So now let's see what happens here. Now it's 1. It is really odd, because it is really actually blocking it. But why is it not printed? Well, this is something odd. As you can see, it's writing back and forth, but as you can see as well, with the largest distance, when it is actually blocking the sensor, this is not going alright. It's constantly giving 1. Okay, let's test again. Open the interface. I don't mind, let's do that. Okay, so now I have put the 2 into action, and the sensor lamp and full power. This is 1, which is usual because this light is on. This should be 1. Digital input 1. Now it's 0. This is 1. 0 and 1, and that is exactly what should happen. This D2 says 9. Here you see it is 3, 2, yes, and this is 12 maximum. So this is working, so why is my program not working? That is a very good question. I am assuming that T digital 8 is the right one. And that is the only one that is active or plugged. So now it goes, it says 1, which is actually correct. And now it keeps saying 1. It says 11. So it only goes here. And I think this is really strange. I have no explanation for this, because at this it should say 0. It should definitely say 0. Okay, I have to check something in the manual to see if I really do have to use digital, which I think I do. to make sure I am not doing something very strange, I am using the touch sensor that I previously discarded, connected it to digital input 1, and as you can see, if I change the code for if digital input 1 is 1, then do 1, and if not, print out 0. And right now I already have some nice results. If it is 0, then it's 0, and if it is 1, then it is 1. So let's run it again. Holding the switch in my hand, I just let it run as should. I'm not touching the sensor now, so it is completely correct saying 0. Now I press it, and immediately you see it turning 1 and keeping 1. I keep it pressed and it is 1. I release it and it says 0. So this is a confirmation of my idea that digital 1 is indeed for input 1. So what happens if I change digital 8 to digital 1, or to 7 for that matter? So let me do that. I plug it into digital 7. Then I of course have to change 7, and here 7, and very important here as well, 7, 7 and 7, and let's see what happens now. Save it, run it. And this is very strange because it should say 0 now, but that obviously is not happening. Okay. And I'm pressing the 1 sensor now, which is changing into 1, so that is correct. But then again, why is 7 not doing it? I'm interrupting the program, and I'm going to 1. Since that obviously is working, so now I'm very curious what will happen. I will comment, oops, I will comment these lines out. Change this to 1. Since this actually does work, save it, and run. See what happens. This is the 1, 1 is 1, and now it should say 0. Alright, then it is time. Now I was thinking of replacing the transistor, however, when I start the diagnosis, I should see the 1, so I open the interface again. I don't care about the sonar for now. I put it I put the lens lamp to maximum, and you see already input 1 is functioning. Now it's off because it's blocking, the carriage is blocking the lamp, and it's on. So that is fully functioning. Remains the question, why is this not? With the so the lamp is functioning, the transistor, the light sensitive transistor is functioning. When it is connected to the switch, to the manual switch, it is functioning, and here it fails to function. What could be possibly the reason? If I remove the sleep one. Okay, let's do that step by step. And go. It is 1 and should be 1, but now there's nothing happening, i.e. a bad decision. And running it again. There it goes. It should say 0 now, but it doesn't. Okay, this is something very peculiar. No clue what it is about. And let me show you on cam what it looks like now. I will put this back to 8, since that obviously does work according to the diagnostics. And then I'll have to put this one back to 8 as well. Well, you can't see anything on screen with this, or on the camera, that is, so I'll leave this. Can I do something with it? Yeah, I could set the output I can do that, and then say output to max, so not to forward to 8. So you can see what happens. Always nice. And put this one away. Because it's giving output anyway. So let's do it. See for any result. And I forget to put the wires back. Changing code without putting the wires correct isn't much use. So there we go, back to camera. So with all these tests and putting this wire right here, and not to forget input 7, and oops, this wire here is now connected to this touch sensor. So let's start the whole program. There we go. And something isn't quite what I expect to happen. This is 05. That is interesting. Okay. Output 5. That is very interesting. This output 1 is, which one is this indeed? Well, that is correct. Output 5 is the light, so that should be on at any time. Okay, let's try again. And this should obviously not be happening, but let's see, why does it not respond as expected? It's a little bit odd. Some outputs are not responding to what I expected to do. Anyway, on screen I do see that that the digital one is working. This to output 8, although you see it clearly working, it is not. Now what I can do at the final tryout is making sure that it burns as bright as possible by putting it to 8. So let's do it again. Oh, it says that's only for output. That's a good one. Let me put it to 7, see if that works. Probably not. Yes. Back to 6 then. Going again. This wire needs to be checked. and I had 8040. So that is remarkable. I did have it. Right now I don't. Pulling the cable, what will happen? Okay. Now again, 80. So this is very weird happening. I think I seriously need to have some cables checked out. Knowing that this one is working correctly. I need some code checked out because this light is burning when I don't want it and when I want it. So with all that, enough to check out for next time. Thank you for watching, and to be continued.